say anything, I want you to join me in a chant. No concessions, no closure. I want you to say it 3 times. I want you to say it loud enough so the Brentwood bloodsuckers will hear you. No concessions, no closure. No concessions, no closure. No concessions, no closure. Brothers and sisters, it is an honor and a privilege to be with you today. I've traveled 3,000 miles to be with you. I'm from San Francisco. First thing I want to do is to let you know that people who are part of the Million Worker March movement have been on board with the Stella D'Oro Solidarity Committee from day one. You have demonstrated rank and file unity. This year, we celebrated the 75th anniversary of the Great Strike in 1934 in San Francisco, one of the last general strikes in this country. Rank and file unity is absolutely critical, but we need the support of the community as well. What Brentwood represents is the so-called economic recovery, where Wall Street goes through the roof and unemployment goes up. That's no recovery. What we need right now is unity. We must do whatever it takes to make sure that this plant is not shut down. We can look to what happened with Republic Windows and Doors in Chicago, where they took over the plant. Look to the action that the ILWU took on May 1st, 2008, when we shut down all of the West Coast for 8 hours to protest and resist the war in Iraq and Afghanistan on International Workers' Day. These are victories, brothers and sisters, and we must take note that we must claim our victories where we can. Now listen, one of the things that is absolutely critical here is that we can't think about staying out of the courts and being afraid to go to jail. If you want to keep your jobs, you're going to have to fight for them. Are you ready to fight? Yeah! Are you ready to fight? Yeah! Are you ready to fight? Yeah! I'm going to close now, but I'd just like to extend an invitation to all of you to join us at 4 o'clock today at the International Action Center at 55 West 17th Street, 5th floor. I'll be holding a forum there about my recent visit to Cuba. But before I close, I would like for you all to join me in a chant that's long been associated with the International Longshore and Warehouse Union. It goes like this: an injury to one is an injury to all. Let's say it 3 times. An injury to one is an injury to all. An injury to one is an injury to all. An injury to one is an injury to all. Thank you.
When the workers went back on July 7th, and they were so strong going back into the factory, they chanted, "We are Stella, we 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 are all Stella, we are all Stella." What this fight means to us in New York is that a victory for the Stella D'Oro workers is a victory for all of us. That's why we're here. We know it in our bones. And the speakers who have spoken before, I don't have to repeat anything that they said.
Yeah,
I got a few things that I've written down that I want to say very specifically. Because when Father Luis Barrios is saying that when we pray, when we have a miracle, it's when people are there doing it. And here's what we got to do. We got to organize. We got to organize, organize, organize. And just exactly what can we do now? Thank you, Oliver Coppell, with the help of Mike Filippo and Calvin from Local 50 and the support committee members. A resolution was brought to the Labor Committee of the Council, and it was passed on July 29th. And I got a copy of it right here. And let me read you resolution. Resolved that the City Council of New York supports the continued operation of the Stella D'Oro Biscuit Company in the Bronx and supports the efforts of Local 50 and the workers at Stella D'Oro Biscuit Company to maintain their jobs and prevent the closure of the Bronx factory. We know how it happened. It was the determination and the sacrifices of the sisters and brothers of Local 50 that stood together for 11 long months that drove that struggle all the way to the City Council. The City Council represents millions of workers in New York City. Are we going to just sit by and let the politicians sit on it? No. What are we going to do? Organize! 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 And I just want to add, in addition to the local and the workers, it was the love and the support of that committee, the support committee, that stood together and stuck together for 11 long months. And we have all worked together, and if we're going to beat this company, and we're going to beat them, we gotta beat them. A victory for Stella D'Oro workers is a victory for all of us. We all have to mobilize to make it happen. And let's light a fire under the council and make them back up that resolution. Let's do it. Keep Stella D'Oro in the Bronx. A job is a right. A job is a right. We are Stella. We are all Stella. We are all Stella. We are all Stella. We are all Stella.
First of all, I want to state that you, the Stella D'Oro workers, are the heroes of the entire labor movement and all the community in New York City, because we cannot allow speculators who have no investment in this plant to steal the investment of the workers. The real investors are the workers who have invested their entire lives into this job. They've worked here for 10 and 20 and more years. Isn't that the real investors? Isn't it the real investors, the community that shopped and bought the Stella D'Oro cookies all these years? Those are the real investors. This is a community asset, and they, for their own speculative reasons, they want to make a buck. They're willing to destroy a whole community, destroy workers' lives. We can't allow them to do that. The bailout bailed out the speculators, but they left the workers and the community out. And today and every day, more people are being laid off, plants are closing, and you see on TV, the recession's over. They want to cool your anger. They want to tell you it's all okay. Don't come out for Stella D'Oro. But I say to Stella D'Oro and to the labor movement, you don't have a movement without movement. And yes, the Stella D'Oro may not be District Council 37 with 125,000 members, but you're in motion. That makes you the leaders of the labor movement of the biggest labor city in this country, okay? That makes you the heroes. It's not just that you've had a historic, and I do mean historic strike that's going to be in the history books. It's not just because nobody crossed. It's not just because it's 1 year. It's because you are leading a struggle of the entire labor movement and the community in New York. You are the movement, and we have to join you as soon as we can go down to our community groups and our delegate meetings, our membership meetings of every union, and get on the floor and say, how much money are you giving to this struggle? How many of our members are showing up at the rallies? That is what we have to do to make this struggle win. Because we're in a struggle and we have no alternative. We must win. We can't just say, oh, we're here today and gone tomorrow. We must make this struggle win, okay? And if we win, think of it everywhere. They're closing auto plants. People are walking away from their jobs. Why are they walking away? The plant is there. Why are they walking away with other plants being closed? If you don't put up a fight, you don't get anything. You get left out while they get bailed out. Let's make that fight win.